by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood, decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange Show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'm gonna show these niggas what to do with one of your beats, man. I am Gas, by the way. Strong woman story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Quinn confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated babysitting with a passion. She deserved better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Looked down upon, getting all the hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. Don't recognize why killers was going through her beef. She said more prayers than the nun did. After seeing so much struggles with only one kid, the clinic said baby number 2 couldn't be undid. 9 months later, delivery and it's one big. But this time it was an older dude. But this shit happened so fast, she barely know the dude. Damn, but we all make mistakes though. And the older we get, that's how mistakes go. So he claimed the baby, now with no money. He said shit was hard and his dollars was kinda funny. Real was feeling like that was strike 2. So when it rains and pours, that's just how life do. She was thinking about her childhood and how life flew. A daddy she always loved, but she never quite knew. This was before the bags and the cellulite grew. Other bitches in her shoe, no telling what they might do. You lose a lot of friends, they start to despite you. Passing judgment when they don't got the right to. And even though I love the gangsters, the same for the gangsters. I remember you no matter how big the fame gets. Paint a perfect picture, baby you can frame this. As long as I'm slapping, you will never be nameless. While I was robbing, you did things that was shameless. Both products of our environment, we was blameless. They deserve better, those women who raised men. Out of town with us in that day's end. The ones we leave on the streets when them days in. Got slammed right with us when the feds blaze in. Not only men is going through it on the wild turf, but the women too. Add that to the childbirth. Kids raising kids, not knowing what a child worth. How you walk in their shoes when every mile hurt. Turn down the nigga, now you can't get respect from him. Think you should fuck just cause you got a check from him. It's bad, ask him where is his pad. Them broke niggas always bitter and it's sad. So what they done to you, they done to me, they done to us. So when I speak of real niggas, just know you one of us. Yes.
Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. Right. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, And I was thinking, like,
the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. Suicidal, depressed, but you won't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. You feel alone even though the people surround you. Popping pills every night even though you know they can't solve it. The emotional pain, it just seems way too heavy. Your mind is racing, wanna scream, somebody help me. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. These type of people sit right under our noses. We don't find out till we're on IG scrolling. We post a few memes, but then it keeps on happening. Something's gotta change, we gotta start talking and telling the truth without the fear of judgment. Gotta come together and really start loving and heal these people cause they slowly dying. Help them believe that their life is worth living. God sees you, and God hears you. Yes, God loves you. I pray there's an end to this suicide demon. We losing people too soon, they cutting and bleeding. They think no one cares, so I wrote this song to tell you, my God, He cares and He can heal you. He sees you when you're crying yourself to sleep, wondering if anybody hears me. You tell yourself you can't go on no more, but your life is worth fighting for. Don't leave this world too soon. There's so many people who really love you. Jesus is calling for you. He knows and He can heal you. I know you're hurting deep down inside, but my God, He came to give you life. You think no one cares, so you just sit there. I'm talking to you, get up from there. You gotta believe there's something better. So much better. God put purpose deep inside of you. The whole world is waiting for you. You.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Child, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. So I do a little gripe session for the first minute. That's all I do. Okay. And that's my gripe for the whole week until the next show. Parents, get your whole life. See this circle right here that I'm drawing in the air? Get that whole life together. Your child's education does not surround your schedule.
Come on.
If a teacher has extra work that child needs to do, it's for their betterment. Not because I like sitting up, grading papers, or keeping your child after school. Now, I might get in trouble from my principal because she watches this, but I don't care at this moment. Parents, get your, see the circle? Whole circle together. If you are square, because I know in today's world, some people 3D. Are squares. Right.
Or triangles.
Triangles. Octagon.
Strongest structure.
Get your shape together. Your child's education should not be determined by what you have to do that day. So you don't keep them out of school because you got something to do on the other side of town. Mm-hmm. You make arrangements for them to be able to be in school and for you to be able to do. It's difficult, but it's doable. I had a mother, she did it. Mm-hmm. And she was a school teacher and still managed to get the things done that she was getting done. And thankfully, she's not my teacher no more.
Hallelujah.
She was. That was a hard year.
I'm sure.
It was, because everybody knew. It's not like it was a secret.
Right.
Everybody knew.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that's
field trips.
That's the worst.
Every day. No, teacher, like the lady up there writing on the board, that was my mother.
Yeah, right. And everybody would know.
So here's my question. Did you say, excuse me, Miss Mom? Or?
No, I would say Mom. I would say Mom. I mean, I wasn't the weird one. It was weird for her.
Right. Did anybody ever have that moment where they accidentally call their teacher Mom? I feel like
I haven't, but I've had kids call me Mom, and like
it would slip.
Yeah, and then but now like they do it on purpose, and I don't know which one it was worse, whether it was the children who was slipping or the children who was doing the intention. Because I'm like, hold on, wait, bruh. You're 15. How old do you think I am? Like, I'm not old enough to be your mother. Right.
Well, and that's the realization that I've had to come across now, because I am now almost 10 years, if not older than that. There's some of the parents that are coming to my classroom. Today I had a, sorry, that was pizza that just came up. Oh no, it was a cheesesteak. So I can taste it.
But you ain't sharing with nobody though. But
that was earlier today.
But it's okay because I don't eat beef anyway.
First of all, you're the one who's cooked, and I could clearly say to myself today,
if you can.
The table is blank. Yet again.
Because I got to cook on Sunday, and then I got to cook again for Thanksgiving. And I got to cook again for the trip that I'm going on the 7th. It's too much cooking. I don't know. I think I'm about to be one of those, like, sun people who feed off of the sun.
Don't do that, because then you're not going to have any friends.
This is actually the best season to do that. Sagittarius season, this is the best season to watch the sunsets and the sunrise. I'm telling you, it's going to be the prettiest. It's going to be the prettiest this season. It's natural.
Listen.
She hungry. She eat off the sun. I eat real food. So today, just getting today's show, like all the shows for this month, is dealing with self-care, and I had to apply what I had been saying just a few moments ago. Got into one of my first fights this year with a parent, and I don't like getting into altercations with parents because I am not afraid.
Right.
I can defend myself. Right. I don't want to get to that point of having to defend myself.
Right.
And we have to, always understand, I don't care what your position is in the confounds of a school building. Whether you're the janitor, the teacher, the resource instructor, or the parent, principal, whatever your position is, you need to think, what does this do to the child? and being disrespectful to a parent or to a teacher or to anybody else in the building, your child is watching.
Yep.
So your child then dictates what they should do based on what they've seen you do. So if you come into a classroom and you're arguing with a teacher because they've kept your child after school, I don't care what you had to do. So you shouldn't be talking to the teacher. You should say, well, what did my child do to have to be left after school?
Right.
That should have been your conversation after the teacher has dismissed the classroom. Not because you got a weed appointment, because I smell it on you, after school. That's not our concern. Right. That's not my concern, because I'm already running late for what I have to do after school. But that's my minute and a half. I think I did 3 minutes. But anyway, so today's show, we're talking about self-care as it pertains to entrepreneurship. So we have a couple individuals, because I got into trouble for my pronoun usage.
Power to being an individual.
I say people
I love
need
the
to
singular
wear,
body.
People need to wear name tags. I'm serious. Like, you need to wear name tags. If you have pronouns, it would be helpful. But if you have, but it ain't about what people accept anymore. But you want me to imagine that I know who you are, and I think you need to wear a name tag.
I think
that says your pronoun.
But I think that's if you're a stickler on that type of thing.
Most
Because
people
like
are sticklers. I see it in people emails, like
in the bio, at the end, they put like
their position, their contact information, he, his, them. Like, I just. Why?
Are you serious?
Yes, it's in people's signature box now.
Oh no!
Like, and I'm not disputing anybody, because I've gotten into trouble in several different situations, because if I perceive you to be, and it's not even me addressing you, it's me speaking about you, and you overhear it, and I say her instead of him, I'm in trouble.
Or say them.
Or them. Like, I try to address people by their name, but I really put it on it. If you need to understand what you are perceived as.
Right.
And then you need to say, well, I'm not that. This is what I am.
Right.
If you have that problem.
I think that comes down to self-awareness, as well as, again, like I said, if you have that problem, because not everyone does. Like, I'm sorry that you've encountered a lot of people who do.
It's like I'm the magnet for, like, anybody that has that problem.
Yeah, I think if you're really, really stickler on that, if you're one of those type of people who are offended easily, then you need to let us know in advance what can offend you, so we can either choose to step around your little eggshells or choose to.
But it's becoming to be a responsibility on the person that is addressing you, and it's not my responsibility. Now, this has been going on for a couple years now in the medical and like the higher educational field, where they ask you what you want to, but it's a new thing for all of humanity to be able to do that. And I say, wear name tags. And you don't want to be, I don't want to wear a name tag. Well, you don't want to be addressed by the right pronouns then.
Right.
So get yourself together and let me just call you by your name.
Yeah. I mean, that's always an option. Like, honestly speaking, I have several encounters, like, for instance, with the kids that I work with, where they'll accidentally, just out of conversation, call me sir or something like that, just by accident, right? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, first off, it's not even that deep. I'm aware of the context of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because in a different context where I know you're trying to be offensive, then that's different. Like, hold up, bruh. You playing too many games. Yeah. But in a situation where we're casually having a conversation, you just so happen and it slips out, okay, that's by accident. And I don't think I should walk around with anything, because it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's funny?
I know where I am.
I think when they accidentally say that and you're in the conversation with them, I feel like they're at the moment addressing maybe the energy that you're putting out, and it just could be really masculine, and then they're associating your masculine energy and the way that you're communicating to them and just saying sir, and it's very unconscious. You know?
Whoa. I need you to rewind that.
We're getting juiced into science already.
But that makes sense to me, though.
No, that makes
I need you to rewind that.
Go ahead, say it again. You got to say it again.
Go ahead.
I want me to say it again?
I do. Okay. I need that to
So I was saying that, like, maybe in the middle of the conversation, like, while you guys are talking and the way that you're addressing to your students, they may feel that you are coming off and having a heavy, like, masculine energy. So unconsciously.
Well, I'm a boy. So let's go come across. I just wanted a side note. Go ahead.
subconsciously they're gonna maybe say sir because they're feeling that you're like emitting a very masculine.
No. I give children passes all day. These are grown people. These are grown A people. Children get passes to a point, but children get passes. These are grown adults that have made decisions in their life that affect everybody. Because now I have to be, I thought I heard you say that right, but I have to be beyond understanding, almost psychic, if you will, and knowing how to address them. And I'm uncomfortable, and if I get uncomfortable, and I'm a person that's really cool and calm for 99.999% of the time. So for me to get flustered or uncomfortable, you are, in my mind, tricking people. Not with your identity, but you're tricking people into falling into a hole and like you need to get yourself out of this. No, help them out of that hole and make it comfortable for people by presenting yourself, because most times they are uncomfortable. So instead of you bashing people, because I thought I heard you say my masculine energy was coming across to them, that's why I said rewind it. See how growth happens. I'm mature. The old Nathan would have been like, well, because I'm a boy. That's why that energy coming across. But
like clearly,
but you have to.
But then again, nowadays not so clearly.
Well, because people do it to me. I mean, and when I'm with, like we say, around young babies, if I come across to them a certain way as motherly, they'll say miss, or because they don't understand what energy. They don't really be able to identify things. They just know what they've been told that is. So when they see that type of behavior, then that is what that is, and that's wrong to really pigeonhole children that way, because we live in a world that these things do exist. And these things, not meaning humans, but identity and
it's expanding out of like we're coming to a
but it's always been there
in our human evolution where we're expanding out of the concept of just out of the
but that's always been there, but now we're expanding beyond it not being acceptable for you not to respect me. That's where we're at. I believe that's where we're at now. But I want these two young ladies to introduce themselves. We have a third chair because we have a third guest coming up as well. But I want these young ladies to introduce themselves. I'll start over here.
Okay.
Because she's a guest, but she's not quite a guest.
I'm Safra. I'm a performance artist. I've been living here in Baltimore for about 5-6 years now. So I've been dancing since I was 3. I've been singing ever since I was probably maybe like 5 or 6 or 7. But recently me getting to sound art. I've been curating shows here in Baltimore. I've been collaborating with other artists a lot. I've been just living my 20s, trying to understand life, being all young but also insanely old solely.
You gotta hold on to that youth while you can.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to open up different kind of conversations that we can have about art and life and expand our knowledge on all things that we need to do to be greater humans in this planet, because there's only one Earth. So.
And she failed to say, but she'll be joining the Artist Exchange starting today, and she'll be joining us, and we'll be figuring out some things. No strings attached, but we just figuring things out.
We're in an open relationship.
It's complicated.
It's already complicated. Oh my God. This is day 1 and it's already complicated, right? When you have Pluto on the first house, like, it's crazy.
But our humble guest for today, one of them.
Well, I'm Grace Gibbons. I am the founder, host, chef, poet, representative, and anything that you can attach to.
Benefactor.
Right, benefactor, main sponsor, all of that of
Hug Life Enthusiast.
Yes, Hug Life Enthusiast, love extraordinary, advocate, community activist, all of that. Like, I try to bring people together. That's the end goal. at the end of the day. Honestly speaking, the way I like to introduce Pose for Dinner is it's a community dinner disguised as an open mic. And the reason why I describe it like that is because the whole purpose of it is to bring people together without any labels, without any I guess bounds. Well, I don't want to say boundaries. Yes, expectations. And we come together, we eat together, and we see a show together. If you choose to perform, you can perform. If you choose to just say whatever's on your mind, express yourself, that's what that platform is for. If you dance, sing, eat, like just live, it's pretty much the space for that. That's mostly what I do. I just released my third book. My first one was Paperless Poetry. My third book is Paperless Poetry 2, An Artist's Addiction, where I pretty much describe my journey with trying to become sober, in addition to like in terms of alcohol and marijuana and stuff like that. It's not saying that there's anything wrong with a little wine here and there. There's nothing wrong with, if you smoke every day, wake and bake, more power to you. But for
as you grow your body and self,
more like your finances. When certain things don't line up right, and you got to do certain things so you can keep making money and keep doing the stuff that you're really passionate about, you kind of put things.
You gotta sacrifice certain things.
You put
that's how I see it. I don't look at marijuana as wrong. I just feel like it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Like it's really because you're going to spend however much it is, however much you spend on it. And then you still hungry after. So you still have to eat.
Yeah.
So why not just kick out the middleman and just eat? Right? That's just always been my thought process. So we're going to come to a close. We're about to take a quick commercial break. Don't forget, the Artist Exchange Radio Show every Monday and Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. here on BigExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And I believe our third guest is here as well. So don't go anywhere.
Far into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new. Take a break from my broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me. Oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark. Show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me. We do whatever you like. It's all for me. Oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. So let's slide, you and me alone, to find who we really are. Crash into something new. I got that leg bringing up the car. Tell me you kiss, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, I wanna take you, but we gotta cruise so we can lose the crowd. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by. Live by. Stay true to your cool, make a move. Don't wait on nobody else. And if it feels like a melody, sing a song, be my radio. And if you follow me there, I'll follow you back. Let the night unfold. I can tell that she can't get enough. Show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me. Oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. Touching hands till we dance in the dark. Show enough, she couldn't. It's all for me. We do whatever you like. It's all for me. Oh no, she couldn't. It's all for me. do whatever you like. Keep the things off of me. I know she couldn't. Keep the things off of me.
To this flashback of Skyline Radio Show.
So where we at? Where we talk about the effects and what's going on in these schools.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand. Just real briefly, I just want to talk a little bit about what people say bullying is or is not. So bullying comes in many forms. It's a teasing, it's the cyberbullying, it's the texting, it's the phone calls, it's the posting of pictures and people's personal information to pretty much cause them harm, to have them feel insecure. It's the sex assaults that people actually put out there. There are physical assaults, and there are mental assaults and emotional assaults. And what I like to remind individuals that any aggressive behavior towards anyone that is unwanted and unwarranted in an individual asks you to stop. Let's stop there. Stop.
And they should be respecting that.
Respecting that and respecting yourself, because when you're able to respect another person, you're able to respect yourself. Right. And the way that you're able to show...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah, other.
It was developmental stuff.
Gentrification.
So, exactly.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. You met our first two guests, and now we have a young lady who's coming all the way from Philly, who is joining us, Miss Dope Elevation herself.
Yes, thank you.
Can you introduce yourself? No problem. Can you introduce yourself? The camera right there where the light is.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Wanda. I am the owner and creator of Dope Elevation Apparel, all the way from Philadelphia.
All the way.
All the way.
They just across the street. They across the street.
All the way. That traffic ain't there across the street. I am what I would call a motivational brand. So I call myself a designer because I don't sew. So
most designers don't sew.
Well, listen, it's an art in my opinion, and it's something that I don't want to take from anybody because I am a brand exactly. So I am a motivational brand, and it's just a brand to empower people to continue to just meet those goals, elevate in life. You know, don't let anything stop you. And we like to translate that through our items. So
what started, and now we'll get into the actual interview process, and then we're going to mix in our topic for today, which is self-care as it pertains to entrepreneurship. But you'll hear a lot of that throughout. But first of all, tell us, how did you get started being a designer?
The brand was established in 2017. The idea was established well before that. I just never took the initiative to kind of create it. And then I needed something to really just occupy my mind as I was going through a breakup. And
jail or the runway?
Exactly. Do I lose money by killing somebody, or do I make money by creating something? That's what
Transcend. Transcend.
Decisions.
Keyword of the month.
So,
we understand.
So like most people, when you get into that state, you need to keep yourself busy. And the idea, like I said, always been there. And literally one day I was just brainstorming and jotting things down, and I feel like it was the time for it to happen. And when I just started researching the name and I came up with the concept of it, everything from there began to fall in place. And in that moment I said, I'm not going to stop, I'm just going to keep going with it. And 2 years later, here's Dope Elevation.
So Miss Grace, tell me how did the food and the poetry find its way together?
It's so ironic that she said it was like after a breakup. You might as well call it a breakup for me. Me and
all this love lost.
I'm trying to say that's where it started at. It really did. Right. It's more like self-love gain. It's a thank you for all of it. Right. So I had just moved into my apartment by myself, and
keep on.
Long story short, I got tired of being lonely. And I was like cooking a whole lot of food as if I was still in a relationship, still with other people, like living with other people. And then
been your friend.
you should have been, because like back then that was when I had money too, because like you know when you single and you got you feel me, like that's when you was getting the real listen.
That's so annoying.
At first I was cooking like every week and I had people come over, and then like I was like, look y'all, this is getting kind of expensive, so I tried doing this twice a month. And then it started to grow. It went from just being me and like a couple of friends, initially like us four, and then it became like 10, then 20, and then now it's too many people to count. But I'm grateful for all of it. But it really started out with me being lonely, me being hungry, and tired of wasting food and wasting money, ironically. But yeah.
And she does it the last Sunday of every month, and you come out, and I'm not going to say it's a free meal, but there's no cover charge. There's a whole buffet of clean, safe, sanitized, areaed food. I have to say that because I don't eat from people because that's weird. But it really has been something that you've that you heard the buzz about. But people are like, I don't eat from everybody.
Nah, you're right.
But we forgot that it was poetry too, so you can come on out. But it's definitely an area where if you want to display, if you want to do your work, or just come and just be a part of something positive every Sunday.
You don't have to be a poet. Like I said earlier on, you could be a singer, you could be a ranter, like literally come up there and like, you know what, I had a rough month and I just need to get this off my chest.
That's what
we all be sitting there like, yes, I'm here with you, girl. Yes, power to the people.
And it's out here in the city.
Yeah,
she'll be traveling soon. We're trying to convince her to get up out of the road.
See, I don't have an issue with traveling. What I have an issue with is the money aspect. You know, I'm a married woman now, so when I travel, right? You feel me? When I travel, I can't just pick up by myself. My wife be like, no, we gotta go together, and you know I gotta help with this, and what are we going to eat? And so I gotta make sure I feed us, and then I can feed everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And
so we might can get some fashion and together.
That'd be a nice collaboration. Awesome.
So, for our young lady on this side, tell us a little bit about your metamorphosis into who and everything that you are.
So I've been dancing since I was 3, like I said earlier, and my practice of dancing, I've studied ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, hip hop, Broadway, literally I've trained and a little bit of everything. But when I was in university and I was really just trying to understand like what is my style, what is my kind of direction, and where am I going with my dancing, I fell in love with indigenous dancing, and I fell in love with wanting to tap into like my inner being and my inner power, and kind of just like how movement speaks through me and my emotions, and what is it saying through the reflection of our collective state, of the changes in the weather, of the types of animals that I'm connected to, and the ways that I feel like I may be attracted to them, and I may feel like my body wants to mimic them in some kind of ways, and then wanting to kind of create stories that revive old ancient stories that have been lost through the phase of colonization and just through the phase of different world disasters that have destroyed a lot of these discoveries and things like that. And I feel like when you go within yourself and you meditate and you really just try to find those answers that kind of just lie within yourself. So I feel like I've kind of strayed away from going to dance classes and getting a lot of external answers and information, and I've just tried to get all that information just from being with myself. And I think one of the best parts is not just being able to create these pieces and perform them, but have a bunch of people come up to me and say how much I've been able to help them with a lot of untapped emotions that they have been feeling for so long. And I think that is the power of movement, that is the power of dance, and also the power of like music and singing in that too, where you are reaching these frequencies and these resonances where you're clearing and you're tapping into these different parts of people's bodies and their brains, and you're allowing them to feel more connected to themselves, you know, more connected to their surroundings and more connected to their spirit. And I've always loved that my artistry stays very authentic to where I am now, and it allows me to kind of get through a lot of my internal blockages and emotional blockages and just things that I may feel confused about myself or maybe what's going on in this world and stuff like that, and to not be so hard on myself and to know that like everything is in constant conversation, and just to kind of be that power and that flux that you know that resides within us, especially being like a Black queer woman. It's like we hold so much answers and information within us. Like we should just trust ourselves of knowing that we have the power to take care and offer so much. And
definitely.
Wow. I feel like I haven't done anything today. But today's topic, as many of them are for the month of November, we're dealing with self-care. I'm a teacher, I'm an artist, I own my own business, so I do a lot of things in the course of a day, and I had to figure out ways to always make sure my cup was full. And everything that, my grandmother used to tell me, everything that runs over into the saucer is what you can give to people, but your cup has to be yours. Because how can you give if you're empty? So today, our topic is self-care as it pertains to entrepreneurship. We have 3 different types of entrepreneurs that are guests here today, and I want to go into some of the things that you do to balance it all, because I think all of us have that day job, and then we come home and then we're at our job. And most times our job is all throughout the day too, and that 9 to 5 can sometimes be out of the way too. But I'll start over here again with Ms. Wanda. How do you balance and how do you maintain your self-care?
Well, to be completely honest with you, that's one of the things that I struggle with a lot. Combination is so hard. An entrepreneur, a mom, a student. Like I said, I'm part-time, part-time. I do an influx of a lot of things.
You got children?
So I have a daughter. She's 7.
How do you? I'm just blessed because
I'm still my own daughter.
And think about how much energy she has to have.
Exactly. So it's, you know, on a typical day, it's coming home from work, it's doing homework, it's doing my homework, making sure my business is running, and then maybe an hour or 2 of me time before I actually go to bed at night. So, and then wake up maybe 6 hours later and do it all over again. So self-care for me is something that I'm definitely still working on and trying to figure out in its entirety. Now, one of the things that I do is that I write. And I journal. And it's crazy that this is the topic because actually on Black Friday I'm releasing a journal under the New Elevation umbrella. And it's entitled Dope Vision, and it says it's entitled Dope Vision, and it just tells you not to lose focus. So within that journal, like which has helped me through a lot of pain and anxiety and depression and everything that we as people deal with, is basically just putting your thoughts on paper and getting it out. And that's what I find that helps me a lot with self-care.
How long have you been journaling?
So I've been journaling for probably about 2 years now. And I journal for myself. I journal for my business. You know, just getting the ideas down, and you know, I go back and I look at progress, anything that I missed, anything that I need to work on. And it's just as far as, you know, I started journaling when I started doing elevation. You know, it was a way, because I was like, is something wrong with me? Like, I need to really tap in and figure out if anything is wrong with me as an individual, as a person, as a partner. And so, you know, in addition to therapy, it was just like, you know, I need to start writing down things and figuring some stuff out on my own. And then after a while, I got a chance to look back and see, you know, compare. And then maybe it's not me, but maybe the people that I'm picking.
That's a good element. And one of my mentors, shout out to Pastor Travis, Dr. Ruth Travis, one of the things that like Facebook has now is a way for you to look back on that day, on this day, and whenever I do a new journal entry, I always try to go back maybe a year or two, not to really nitpick, but it will show you progress, like you said. It also will show you anything that, I'm a big list person, it'll show you where you are on that list in terms of checking things off or applying all that to the next list. But it definitely helps you to look back.
Me and that Facebook memory never left Facebook. I posted a little bit ago. I said Facebook memories has a funny way of letting you know that I start and stop a lot of things. Because you can look back and you see what you've done on that day, and it's like,
because we're not cognizant of that.
Right.
We either are not aware at all, or we're too super focused on yesterday. And we need that healthy balance. But we're going to take a balance break right now, and we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with these three lovely ladies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Share it out, share it out, share it out.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me that let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I beat the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save it, it'll be too loud on the pedal stool. Don't carry favors, always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patience run thin, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep the G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't losing sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm steady green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king with chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them, trash them, then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. You know what I mean? Like, if I got it, then you got it. You know what I mean? But if I don't got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know that I've been there from the beginning. But the more I see niggas side switch, it make me wanna bring it closer to the end. And that's why I can't fuck around with these niggas. I'll fuck around with my hoes. Cause niggas acting like bitches and hoes acting like bros. Man, I swear I really don't get it. How people switch up they roles. First it was nothing but love, but nowadays I don't know. It seems like anything goes. Where can I go? Cause lately fucking with you, I just stand at a fork in the road. It's hurting my soul. When I'm around you, I shouldn't feel like I just stay on my toes. So where do we go from here? Get dough from here?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah, you have to have something to give to them, and they not even open to like sharing.
Yeah,
they gotta see your like.
Not my city.
They was mean to me,
Yeah.
and I'm talented. But welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. We have a plethora of talented young ladies with us today. We have a designer, a curator of fashion. She's an Idea Smith. We have a poet, a poet, a chef. I'm saying it because I'm hungry.
I know you keep
just like chef, right? Wait, chef.
And Wanda has a design called Dope Elevation, and she's out of Philly, but she's global. You can buy her stuff online.
Listen, I ship worldwide.
Where can we find your
DopeElevationApparel.com.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Go on there, get the stuff. I'm a model.
Yes, I got something for you. That's why I love it.
And I got a nice event. I said I'm gonna wear it this weekend, and it's nice and toasty. And then we have Miss Poets for Dinner / author and chef.
Yes.
Tell us where we can find your books and come
you
see
can
your event.
find more information about my event, about my books at poetsfordinner.com. Spelled grammatically correct because I'm lazy. Two of my books are on Poets for Dinner, where you can buy directly from the website, but the third one you're gonna have to actually go to. Yeah. Well, you don't even have to catch it. You can actually buy it at Barnes and Noble. You can buy it at just a little bit. You know, just a little bit. At Amazon, you can buy it off of Walmart's website. They don't have it like in store, but I'm working on it. But I'm really excited about the third book. I was about to say post for that. Paperless poetry. And artist addiction, because it's something for everybody in there. Because like I was saying earlier, it talks about the journey of music, its sobriety, but it also talks about all the different things we as human beings can get addicted to, i.e. food.
First off,
I'm just,
It's a real addiction.
but it is though. It is, and it's one of the things that I also struggled with. It talks about, you know, sex. It talks about being addicted to even people's energies and stuff like that. Going kind of back on the subject of self-care.
I thought she was about to judge me. I was about to judge me.
No, I'm not judging. But like going back on self-care, like one of the ways that I find for myself that I have to do is constant affirmations. Like every day, I start my day and end my day with some kind of affirmation.
Yes,
because I get into, I guess, a space where I take on other people's energies and sometimes their opinions, and it gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So for every negative though, I try to counteract it with at least 7 positive ones.
Okay. Yes.
Which is hard because a lot of people out here are very negative. So like that's a part of my self-care ritual. I write a lot. I think I write too much, which is why I started pushing out books, to be honest with you. I actually carried this old Samsonite, like you remember the old Samsonite?
Satchel?
No, suitcase.
Oh,
like I'm
wow.
talking about big suitcase.
Oh,
like
wow.
it used to belong to my great-grandmother suitcase, okay? Filled with poetry. Written on the backs of napkins, on bus passes, on the backs of books, like that shouldn't have been writing on. Sorry, teachers. That's what happened to page 37. But like, I write a whole lot. I do my affirmations, and I try to exercise more. Like whether it's just stretching, yoga, or something. Like I try to move, because a lot of times, depression is really, really real, and it's really real when you are vitamin deficient, when you are not exercising, when you're not going outside getting fresh air and allowing the sun. Depression can kick your behind.
And anxiety.
And anxiety.
That movement, it really frees you. It really loosens up so much tension from your mind and your body and your spirit, and it literally shifts like overnight. It's one of the most purest and most magical types of medicine.
And you know what? For me, what's the most healing part of it is that I don't take myself seriously when I exercise. I spend most of it laughing at myself.
You're having fun.
Right.
Exactly.
So, like, I know I don't do crunches right. I know I cannot do a push-up the same right.
You're hurting yourself. Like, relax. Like, you can smile.
Like, how are you angry doing yoga? Like, you're doing downward dog. There's no way in the world you can keep a serious face going.
Breathe. Why you
You're supposed the point of yoga is it's the breathing. It doesn't matter if you can touch your toes, if you can do a headstand. It's just about breathing through the movement. That's all that yoga is.
I've never done yoga.
You should.
It just helps you flexible. And it gets you limber for other things. So, and it's great that we're talking about doing exercise, because that's one of the self-care tips that you could do for yourself. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been giving out a lot of tips, and we don't realize what really is considered self-care. Getting up a little bit earlier and eating breakfast, writing in our journals at night or during the daytime. During Lent, maybe 2 years ago, I decided instead of giving up something, I was going to add something to my. I know. Sorry, I'm kind of Catholic and we be mixing up stuff, and I messed it up. But I decided instead of getting rid of something, I would give myself the challenge of waking up every morning and making 5 pairs of earrings. I make earrings, so I would make 5 pairs of earrings
for like a couple of years now.
And it wasn't because I was preparing for a vending event or anything. I just wanted to build up my supply. By the end of Lent, I had over 600 pairs of earrings, because some days you would get up and you're creating, you're doing more, you're writing more in that journal, and some days it was like, all right, I did 20 yesterday, so I can, nope, you got to do 5 today too. And I would force myself to at least do 5 every day, no matter how many I did over that the day before. And I had so many pairs of earrings that I'm still pulling some of them out and putting them on my racks when I have.
I wonder did you make the ones I asked for, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
I'm not gonna let company. Well, she gonna finish. But it's just figuring out what you already are doing,
Right.
and just taking that to the next level.
Truly.
Do you
Truly.
eat breakfast every morning? Okay, I'm gonna eat a better balanced breakfast. I ain't gonna have that McDonald's no more, but I'm gonna make my own breakfast a day, or I'm gonna go to Whole Foods and get me something or something like that. So it's already things that we're doing that we take those times for ourselves. I get 20 minutes between all my classes, and I shut the door. I put my little curtain down in my classroom. Don't come in. These are my 20 minutes. If you mess that up, you will get the other me.
I was gonna say that too. Breaks are necessary. I don't care what anyone tells you.
Naps are necessary.
Yes, they are. They are.
Naps in your office are
100%
necessary.
I recommend any and everybody who has breaks. Like if you are normally like a city employee or state employee and stuff like that, I know you got 2 15 minutes. Take those 2 15 minutes. I don't care if you smoke or not. Take that minute to go outside and breathe, because you really do need that to reset yourself and tap in the fact that you're still alive. You're here in this moment. I don't care what happened yesterday. I don't care how Sue burnt the the food for the potluck. None of that. Like you gotta take the time out to breathe. Like that's one of the most important things, is to realize that you're actually present and you don't have to live in the anxiety of what's going to happen next, or in the depression of what already happened. Be here in this moment, like, you know what? That 15 minutes was needed. I needed to breathe. Now I can go back and do whatever it is that I needed to do.
So go ahead.
And I think with like talking about breaks, and like you're talking about these like short-term breaks, but as a dancer, I've been dancing for like 23 years. I've never experienced any kind of injury.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
My brother said it.
23 years. I was 0 years old. But I've never broken anything. I've never fractured anything. But I've came through I've gone through like my first like pinnacle of my life of experiencing just like emotional injury within myself, and like having a lot of muscle tension and like pain within my body, where I just needed to take a break and stop dancing for like about a year to really reset myself really deeply clean and like reset all things that I have been storing within myself that I thought that I had been releasing through my practice, but I've still just been adding and adding and adding on top of myself. And for me to be able to like do that and surrender and kind of take a step back from my practice and just relax, you know, that has been like the biggest type of self-care that I can like really offer myself, to really step away from what I love so much to really take care of the core foundation of my being. So I'm like kind of finishing that cycle of my phase of healing, and now I'm getting back into like my training routine and strengthening myself again, and kind of re-stabilizing like what I knew before what strength was, and kind of being in this like new cycle of my being, which is like really cool.
So my first question to you all is, what challenges are you facing as an entrepreneur, as it in terms of how it's maybe damaging your self-care or interfering with your self-care?
Okay, I would just say,
I know you said time management.
Time management is very big, because you want to make sure that you're giving your all to your business, but you also want to make sure that you're not lacking anything else. So it's time management and balance for the most part. And then just not stressing and realizing that everything is a journey. And it takes time to kind of elevate into your best self when it comes to your, you know, I had a partner when I first started out. And that person.
Did we all?
I did, like, you know, it was like my vision and everything, and I wanted to have someone with me that can kind of not help along the way, but kind of provide their feedback and just be a partner in the whole thing. And being a unisex brand, you know, it was a male, because I was just like, you know, I want to know what men like, you know, that balance. So that person didn't last because they were looking for instant gratification from every single thing. And I had to explain, like, you know, things take time. I can be doing this for like 4 or 5 years and really not see any revenue from it. Just like,
He was like, oh, I don't know.
Right, like I don't want all that, right?
Like,
But that's real.
Maybe this
That's
is
Like you're cutting my blessings from saying stuff like that.
Exactly.
And
Like maybe this just isn't. And I had to cut ties.
Truly.
Self-care. You know, like
Truly.
you're not going to stress me. Downplay my
hold me
vision,
back
or anything, hold me back from anything because of your self-doubt of what I got going on.
No, that's just a reflection of them.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
really what
And
it
it really, and some of the things that we went through this month was definitely figuring out when you bring people into your space. I am a big person. I will ask you time and time again, what do you need? And some people can't be honest about that because they have intentions that have nothing to do with what you really want. It has everything to do with what I need from this. And people can't always be honest. So finding those people who are honest with themselves and can be honest with you. Because if they're not being honest with what they need,
But you know what? They may not even know what they need.
Truly.
But you have to
because
be
they're not
honest
honest
about
with
that.
themselves, so they've never been able to have the time to listen to what they need.
Because you building something, you have to find that time and that energy to put into it. So for you, the time management is more so balancing the responsibilities with the dreams and desires.
And the budget.
And the budget. I always tell any artist, and maybe the quality will change once the money come in. But if you're focused on money, you'll continue to chase it and run around in that circle, and you'll be in that circle until you realize that you have to break whatever that thing is in you to focus on your gift. You have a gift of doing what you're doing because you wouldn't be doing it. So what is my gift and how can I focus in on the gift? Because the money, it's going to come. And like you told your ex-partner, I have a vision. Your vision, and it didn't have a price tag on it.
Exactly.
We wish it did sometimes because we wish that we would have known we were jumping into. But it doesn't have a price tag, and it's really priceless. It costs us a lot, more than a lot. But the vision is priceless, and you can do the vision. If you sold one jacket a year, I think you'll be satisfied.
Absolutely.
Not for long, but that's a good start.
The money aspect of it has never been an issue for me.
Because you probably put more into it at this point.
Oh my God!
I
was just looking at my statements, just preparing for tax season, and I was looking at stuff I spent, and I was like,
ooh, right off.
Yeah, definitely. Where that money come from? But it's not something that's of importance to me. I love making sales. I love meeting goals because I give myself my own goals and things like that. But I'm just appreciative for every single person who sees what I see in my product enough to buy it. Of course. So it's just like and my vision goes far beyond just clothing. Like I said, the journal is the next thing of Dope Elevation. And I didn't say what Dope Elevation stands for. So Dope Elevation, Dope stands for drive, obedience, patience, and excellence, which leads to your elevation in life.
Okay.
So
you better give a word.
What I
gotta get the back of
and it means so much to me because that gets me through my day daily. That leads to my elevation. Everything I do, from fitness to school to being a parent, I tie all of that into it.
Now you have we call them benefactors. That's the day job because that pays for everything else. But in that day job, do you have the same issue with time management?
Well, the day job is a desk job. So what I do during the day is I have one computer with my work. I have a computer with Dope Elevation. I have a computer with school. And it's multitasking all day long.
And they didn't hear that.
Listen.
They didn't hear that.
Boss, you can come right on over. You need something.
But my point is, we sometimes can compartmentalize and structure ourselves here. But over here is like, well, what do I do first? And we lose that sense of responsibility that we put into that 9 to 5, and we don't bring any of those processes over here. And the reason we're there, and we've been blessed to be able to be there, is because we're supposed to take something away from that. How do they do payroll? How do they do their taxes? And you start asking those questions, they're going to look at you sideways like, why you want to know? But you're making somebody else capable of taking a long vacation. You're making somebody else housewife be able to just lay back and get her manicure, pedicure. But we don't take any of those things over here. So self-care is often learning as much as we can. We as entrepreneurs, we can bring it over here. Because many of us, it's three people that take the jump, they go all in. That was me, hit my head on the concrete several times. And then it's the person that kind of wades because they're on both sides because this is paying for that. And then you have the person who just, it was an educational entrepreneurship that they got into. So it was just an easier transition. It was like looking for a job for them. But most of us fit into that waiting period. And most people, they don't realize while you're in that waiting period, take some of those processes and put it into make it work for what you're doing. Because we get crazy because we work 80 hours outside of what we're already doing over here. And it becomes to be, it's a lot. So do you see places where you could kind of strengthen up that self-care?
In the medical, and being in the medical industry and in the department that I'm currently in, I really don't take too much from where I'm at now. However, I was that person that took the leap at first. And then I kind of went back to the teeter-totter of it all.
Like them assurances.
I know. So you mentioned just kind of like, changing up on things. And I remember when I first started Dope Elevation, it was, again, a problem with balance and everything. And I felt completely overwhelmed. And I was just like, as a parent, you kind of always have the guilt that you're not giving your child as much attention that they need. So it was like, well, can I go?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's not even the first word, but I was like, damn, God, like, how am I supposed to balance everything I got going on and now add a business on top of it?
And still drink water.
And still try to lose these 30 days.
But you're not
trying to lose.
And as I've gotten older, I've realized we can't do more than we can do.
Right.
So sometimes you're going to have to say no to something.
Right.
And often it's something that we want. But sometimes it could be something that somebody else wants.
Right.
Often, and the more you get comfortable with that, the more you can start saying no to stuff over here so you can strengthen this over here.
Right.
But you can, it's possible. Now, I know I went to school
that's
for
the hard
women,
part.
with women.
That's saying no part. That's the hard part.
Wow.
It's easy once you learn. But listen.
One syllable.
But listen, when you're not used to
no
when you first start out saying no, it's hard. And the reason why it's hard is because other people make it hard. Once you start setting boundaries and people realize they can't cross those boundaries no more, it's hard at first because you're like, oh my God, I'm disappointing whoever, I'm hurting whoever's feelings. But then you realize, but guess what? You are getting your feelings hurt too. You know what I'm saying? You are getting destroyed in that process too. And the only reason why I stopped you right there is because, ironically, when you were saying that, November was self-care, for me, self-care meant for me learning how to say no better. Because when it comes to even post for dinner, when it comes to my day job, my biggest issue is saying no. Because I don't want to make it seem like, one, I'm lazy, or two, I'm not putting up
But look
more
at
of
the people
myself.
that say no to you.
And that's what I had to learn.
Are they
There were so many
sleeping
people
at
saying
night?
no to me, and I was the one that was always saying yes.
To them.
Yes, to them, to these same people. But then when I needed it was just like, no, I can't, no. And I'm just like, well, why am I?
And I don't know if y'all realize this is a secret, but this is the difference, the fundamental difference between men and women. You all feel like you're doing less nurturing when you say no. No.
We nurture, we have
gonna
to protect ourselves.
and I'm gonna sleep good on that no. But you gotta be good with the no, because the no made you sleep better. It gave you a couple hours more of sleep, where you would have been trying to design something at the last minute for somebody, or putting together dinner at the very last minute for no, I can't do that. And it's not because I physically can't do it. Mentally, no. Because I need that time for me.
I had to learn that. I had to learn it very early on, because being a new brand, I was like, I want everybody to have everything. And the moment someone asked for something, I was stressing myself out.
Last minute.
And then I had to slow down, and I said, you know what? You got to set some boundaries, because if you don't set any boundaries, you're going to drive yourself
Because look at those
crazy.
situations. How much money did you really profit from that last minute?
Probably not much.
if anything.
Not much, exactly. Yeah.
You just got one more person wearing your brand, which was beneficial. But if I had to pay, it was almost like I was paying you for you to wear my brand. I might have just made you an ambassador for all that.
Exactly.
And I makers and creators, we have to get into a space, entrepreneurs, into a space where we can't get frustrated because the quality of our work always will be the first thing to go. I work with a lot of restaurants and I try to tell them, you can't have hours this week and not have those same hours next week. Because if this time fits into my work schedule, next week will complicate my work schedule because I'm gonna try to support you, but you ain't got the same hours. Open them doors up, have business hours, set restrictions and set limitations for yourself and for your clients, and people will either love it or leave it alone. People won't complain if you're saying these are my business hours. Now you can alter them in terms of finding someone to be there, but don't close your doors. Don't stop your flow, because that's why many of us have stops and starts in our creative energy. And you're probably doing the same thing that you was doing then, but now you figured out how to make it last a little bit longer. Then, you know what, this getting to be too much. I'm gonna go back to this 9 to 5, save up. No, you could still be doing. Go this scale back. Say I'm only gonna do these designs right now. Or I'm only gonna sell a certain amount every month. But you have to figure out how to keep it going, and that's one of the things that I noticed with a lot of us entrepreneurs / artists. We don't take the time to be consistent, and we lose our quality because we're not consistent. And we start using, I'm gonna use cheaper fabric this time because I gotta get the money up, but that costs you. But call it a boutique so you can have limited supply, so you can be mass producing like that.
Yeah, one thing about me is that I pride myself on being extremely consistent, and when the inconsistency starts, I'll try to figure out where it's coming from. I had to fire somebody I was working with because I was like, you messing up my reputation.
You're messing up the bag.
We can't do that. I'm sorry.
We have a flow here. We gotta that's what we did, but that's not it.
Exactly.
You can't be funking
to help that issue. I went out and I learned how to do it on my own, and I put everything that I needed to do to keep my business consistent.
But where did you first see somebody get fired at a job? So, no, I'm just saying, so that's the first time so those are the types of processes that I'm talking about. Like little things that you can learn, and it may not be everything, because sometimes you may have to like maybe switch a position to learn something that's really important to you. But there are certain things that you learn how to do. And it's from, those 9 to 5s are really valuable if you let them work for you and you don't become a slave to it. But so I'm gonna get to the second part of the question, and it's more so for what are some of the things that you are doing now to kind of put in place to help your business grow a little bit more, where it's not necessarily making it easier, but it's making it run a little bit smoother. And anybody can answer that.
Well, for me, long story short,
you're not bringing food today because it's making it easy.
Right, I didn't bring food today to the interview, even though I really was going to need a plate, and I did promise. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay, the reason why he's upset is because I did promise I was gonna bring him a plate. However, the plate that I was supposed to bring him, I did not cook. And the reason I did not cook is because I have a jam-packed weekend. Post for dinner is this Sunday, okay? And like
the last one for this year.
Yes, the last one for this year and for this decade, y'all. We about to be in a whole nother decade. Jesus, take the wheel. But like for me, a part of that process is getting more like automated. Getting more automated in general on my website, on social media and stuff like that, like taking advantage of being able to schedule my posts. Now a lot of people get mad because they'll reply to my posts, they'll send me messages on Facebook, and I'm sorry, I love you, but I don't get those messages until a week later. I'll be posting, but everything that I post is honestly either automated post or me sharing something so I can read it later because it just so happened to come across while my phone was notifying.
So your self-care is now figuring out how I can afford to pay somebody to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saving up for dinner now. And it's things that we don't even think about that become to make the wheel go a little bit smoother. So where are you with making your business international?
So for me, it's getting more into digital branding on a professional level.
So who?
Digital branding.
Okay,
and marketing. Yeah, on a professional level. And I started working with a branding company to do that. Because social media is a very, very big platform.
And it's changing again.
Exactly.
Yes. No more likes.
You have to know how to do it right and control it right.
And it's also changing. I've seen like in the algorithms, like people are saying that like only 7% of like your followers are seeing your posts. Like I keep seeing these posts and people are sharing that information where like not all of your followers are seeing all your stuff.
It's one thing it's doing is forcing the consumer to be more invested in what they want.
Right.
Because things became so robotic and so scary because we got lazy.
Yes.
Amazon and Google made it possible for us not to, we could blink and the thing could be on our screen and at our door within moments.
Yeah.
And that is scary to us.
True.
Well, we made it that scary. We made it that scary. So as a consumer, I can't wait for the business to ask me to like them. I got to go out and seek the things that I like. So it's forcing the people not to be so dumb and lazy. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but we have to now say what we want. And we have to go out there and actually seek it, because now it's about to be harder, because I can't base whether a product is good or not based on the likes, because social media is about to get rid of likes. So you're not even going to see how much somebody likes something, and that's going to take the competition will be leveled out at that point.
And I think another thing that it's doing is that it's forcing entrepreneurs to get out more and be involved and
be more public.
And you know, instead of sitting behind the computer and say, look at my product, in the street and actually
like we used to.
Exactly, like, and communicating with individuals personally more so than just like on the computer.
And the people who make these products, these technologies, have heard us say how scary it is. So they've pulled back with pushing us so far ahead and forcing people to get back out. And probably because malls and box stores are saying, hey, people don't want to come in no more, we're about to sue you, but they're forcing people to get up, whether you're the consumer or you're the sale. But you got to get up and get to where you want and stop being lazy. We will take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Ooh.
I wanted to show you stuff, but
like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. What you up to, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, it's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they love to hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of live everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall, then get your mask on. Fix your vision on the future like it's fast forward. The world is yours in due time, ain't gotta ask for it. I'm from the school of hard knocks, I took a crash course. Should be stressful, my nigga, that's why I'm getting high. But that's life, and it's the code that I live by. And you know how it is, where we at, nigga. They say money can't buy happiness, but I be happy as a bitch when I can have dinner. Learn from your losses, or you end up like the last nigga. I fall off, I bounce back, I really come from the dirt. But if you wanna make it happen, gotta
take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange radio show.
Any trouble, because I get into any trouble, but I had a problem that this then became a discussion at that workplace environment. Now, the discussion was I should have been more sensitive. In what way was my first response? And I guess when I had to meet with that said person who had the issue with the person who was said leader of that organization, I said, well, to that person, how would I have known that? Well, you should have asked.
I think so. You want my opinion?
It was a circle, and I was willing to go on that merry-go-round.
You are better than most.
Yeah.
I think that's normal when you're in a group and there's norming. Most of the time when you're in new work environments or you're in a space where you're getting to know people, it's normal now to ask for people's preferred pronouns. You wouldn't have known that.
Normal to who? What is normal?
Well, you work in social... You
but
work
I don't
in social
feel the
innovation
need to give
and
my pronouns, so it's not normal to me.
You don't, but I think because I feel like the person was probably offended because they felt like you were not honoring whoever they are, right? But you wouldn't have known that.
Still to this moment, I don't know what their pronouns are. So in that
didn't offer
circle, we still don't know. So I'll go as far as saying I perceived it to be a she.
Perceive them to be a she.
Them.
Yeah.
Her, him, they,
them. It seems like they, them would be the easiest one on this one.
Join us every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. for the Artist Exchange radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Skirt, 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 skirt. Stop. Skirt, skirt, skirt. Start. Stop. I be up in the way. 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 Running on my face. Gucci guilty on my face. I be up in the way. 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 Bedroom phone ring, girl in t-shirt answers me. I get off on the way that she answers me. First time.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Started when I decided to stop taking other people's energies and anger and frustration. Even if it was directed to me, I can't take this personal because now I'm internalizing and transferring your frustration into me.
And then you find yourself putting it on other people as well.
You're more consumed with it than they are.
Right, and you're walking away like, oh.
I feel like it,
and some says, but I was happy a few moments ago. So, because you just absorb their energy.
And then my body, for me, like my body starts getting sore. I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't move anything.
So we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. I'm loving the guests that are coming by this November because they just get it. If you don't realize it, the Artist Exchange Radio Show is less about promoting that 15-second elevator pitch that we all practice and we know by heart, but it's more so about being engaging, as we just said before. The way the world is now, you have to get out and touch people. You got to get out and physically work with people one-on-one. And I am glad that platforms like this and this platform is around for people to be able to just express who they are. Right now, people got to know where their money going. Everybody's broke. Even the rich people broke right now. So I got to know that my money ain't going to support Trump and all the people that's supported by Trump. But I need to know that my money is going somewhere where this person see me. We can see each other.
So how you feel about dang it, her name is just at the tip of my tongue, but the artist who, well, the singer who said that in her meet and greets, she don't want people to touch her, like she doesn't want to be hugged.
She is an example of, and I'm sorry, just like the other young lady, and I think that's the same young lady who said she about to quit because she didn't win any Grammy, or she didn't get nominated for any Grammys. This is a system that we all can get trophies. And we have to begin to show our babies that even if you lose, you got to just keep working. You can't. We are too busy over here in your lane. It's I took a workshop a couple years ago, and she said we're all in the swimming lane. Get in your swimming lane. She said, and at some point we start realizing that person winning, so we over here now. So we're trying to go and we're not moving as fast, but that person's still beating you because you're focused on their lane instead of your goal. And where we get to, and those types of artists are I feel for her. She's not gonna go far with that attitude. I think she's immensely talented, but everybody can't get trophies. Everybody can't be in first place. But there's room for all of us to succeed.
I would say like it's just maybe not right now. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Exactly. It just it's not happening right now. We were talking about Lizzo on our way up here, and how the song that made her so popular right now has been out for like 3 years.
Yeah, she's been out for longer than that.
Exactly.
So maybe this is just her time, like it was Cardi B's time, and so it was just that you don't know the work that people put in. We see the shiny image, but you don't know how many nights that person went without eating. How many times that person went, was robbing Peter to pay Paul, went to bed hungry, or had to walk to that audition. You don't know what somebody's went through, so stay out of other people's lane.
Not to mention some of the rewards that you get are bigger than what other people are showing off. Like I see this meme all the time, and I feel like it's the universe talking to me directly, but it's always like an image of an old man sitting there, digging up the dirt, and he has this like little tiny diamond that he decides that he wants to walk away with. Meanwhile, the guy next to him, he pretty much gives up. He's right there. All he has to do is dig one more time, and he has the largest diamond in the world. But because the other man already got his little small diamond,
he thinks like, oh, that's it.
Right, that's it. I give up. I don't care no more.
You focus over here instead of
exactly. And whole time his diamond was big enough to feed the entire world.
Real quick, can we go around and give out our social media accounts again, and where we can find our businesses, where people can send checks if they want to? We'll start over here.
Yeah. So my
claim it.
Yeah, spend my checks. I tell everybody, I need 25 G's.
Ask for 50, because you might land on 25.
Okay.
Listen, I'll take 50 if y'all can get my cash app is Dope Elevation 17.
Okay.
PayPal is PayPal.me/Dope Elevation.
You never know.
I'm good with it. Understand me, y'all got some ideas and some plans. I just need some capital. But my Instagram is at @dope_elevation. The Facebook is Dope Elevation Apparel LLC, and then my website is dopeelevationapparel.com.
Okay, there we go. And your book will be coming out.
It will be available for pre-sale on Black Friday.
There we go. There we go. So she gonna send us that link, and we'll definitely put that out there as well.
I'm so excited.
Oh, you fancy. Well, on everything is Poets for Dinner, spelled grammatically correct. Again, Poets for Dinner. Website poetsfordinner.com. Email address is poetsfordinner@gmail.com. That same thing for Cash App, $ Poets for Dinner. You feel me?
And you can find my performance art on Instagram at Safra is Safra, and you can find my sound art as at Primitive Tongues on Instagram and SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And my website is neg21.com, because I used to be known as Negative21, but I have finished that chapter of that name.
Yay for growth.
But I still kept the website name. I think it's pretty cool. neg21.com. You can see all of my photo art, my music video art, my sound art, my zines, my postcards. I make a whole bunch of stuff. So
my last interview question is, what do you want? Everything else aside, business, families, love, money, what do you want?
Ultimately, I want to be my own boss. So, just real quick, I am on a full-time basis. So I had a period where I had gotten laid off, and I was laid off for about 8 months from my job. And I said that was the best time of my life because it allowed me to really give the attention to what I wanted to give the attention to without being on anyone else's schedule. I was able to be a full-time mom, take my daughter to school every day.
It felt good.
School every day. What? It felt amazing. I was in the gym every morning. I had a whole routine, and I was stress-free throughout the entire 9 months without a care in the world of any finances or anything like that. So ultimately, the goal is to have financial freedom. I want to run a couple of businesses. I'm working my daughter on starting her own t-shirt line as well.
Okay.
Yes. And
generational wealth.
Yes, exactly. And then just overall giving back in any way possibly that I can. So the greatest reward for me is giving back. And like I said, I don't always want to make myself available to people, but I don't always want to be the person that block someone out as well.
Yeah.
So if I can help in any way that I can, I'm always there. And that's my passion. I think it's my purpose in a sense. I think Built Elevation has lit that fire for me with that. I think this book will continue to do that, and then we'll just progress from there. So ultimately, I'd be married somewhere with like a couple kids on the beach, and private jet, and not even worry about.
Well, maybe the nanny got the kids.
Yeah,
If you want to be.
they come with me. I want them to see the world and whatever.
Okay.
And just, be a person to provide jobs for people, be a person to provide,
That's a boss. That's a real boss.
Exactly. And live happy.
Okay.
Live in a true happiness.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with these awesome young ladies. We still got about a half an hour to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And it's, so I'm going.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
Real. You're right. That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to. If the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is. Radio show.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Black by Demand radio show.
Control. They said she wouldn't so they didn't know if she had a weapon. So it's just a mess. So yeah, you do have to have these discussions with your children.
You do, and you have to make them aware of that there is an enemy out there. Every time the police pull you over, or every time you have an interaction with the police as a black person, you are at risk of being in front of your enemy. Hopefully, it's not a police officer that wants to demonstrate that he's your enemy, but we all see it's a high probability of that being the case. So if we're not talking to our children do not have the coping mechanisms to deal with these type of intense situations. What they're going to do is what most of us do as black people, me and anyone else, which is become emotional. And that is the trigger point for the police. Right. They know that black people are emotional.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
money that day, but because I just want to go to the market and make some Alfredo headlights. And that's comfort and success for me.
True.
Right.
It's a simple success.
Truly,
Yeah.
Everything else will come in line when you reach that type of goal and success. You're good with everything.
You meet the 5 pointed stars. You get the mental health, the physical health, the spiritual health, the mental health. You get all that cleared. You're balanced.
Exactly.
You're ready.
So you have any fashion shows coming up? We're back online. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So we literally just completed a fashion show at my daughter's school yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, Wednesday? Thursday.
Ooh, Thursday.
Yesterday.
That's one thing that you lose. What day of the week is when you're running your own business.
It was Wednesday because I worked yesterday. So on Wednesday. So her school had a sister-to-sister fashion show where it was pretty much an empowerment, a girl empowerment event.
Okay.
So myself, Dope Elevation, and my daughter, her little t-shirt line is called Dope Beginnings. I always say she was dope from the beginning, and I elevated her to my dope. So I always say that. But we were part of the fashion show, and it's great. It was our 5th fashion show since being in existence, and we are currently working on Elevate 2020, which is our very own vending and fashion showcase. We had our first one last year. April of 2019, and it was a big success, so we're just looking forward to 2020. And at this event, we highlight not only Dope Elevation and what we have coming up for the spring, but also new and upcoming brands and designers who wants to get the exposure as well, in addition to other small businesses that wants to get out there too. So it's like a 4 or 5 hour event. It's a full-on fashion show. There's vendors there. People talk about their products and what they have and what they offer. And so that's coming up.
Well, invite me, because
absolutely, you're there.
I love stuff that not only because empowerment has been done, but really puts us in a space of our opportunity. Too much, we leaning on each other too much, and we don't require ourselves to do the work. So that events like that require for us to do the work, or at least be open to learning what I can do to get the work done. So I like stuff. I like acronyms. I really love that. So dope. Miss Poets for Dinner.
Okay, so to go back to your question, what I want at this present moment, what I want is my own space, my own moment of peace, my own balance, my own I don't even know how to explain it, but just like in this universe, my own chord in there, okay? Like I don't want a whole lot, I just want my own. Something that can't be taken away, whether it's my time, my energy, anything. Like if it belongs to me, I want it to be mine, and I want the boundary around mine to be solidified.
And this question should make you feel selfish. It should. To answer it, it should make you feel selfish as a giver, as somebody who has a service that's always putting it out there.
And see, that's why I'm struggling with it. It's because I am a giver. Like that's all I do, but. In this moment, I
felt like it was tough getting it out.
Yes,
you should feel selfish.
Because I do and that's where I'm fighting with myself. It's like no grace. We're all about giving and hugging and loving. And it's like yes, I give and yes, I hug and yes, I love everybody. Okay, but for me,
you can give love and hug everybody and still
be absent of it.
Exactly, like you can. So. I understand you got that going on.
Right. And see, that's the thing. That's what I'm growing into. Like, I really am starting to practice it. I'm not going to lie and say that I've done a good job at saying no a lot more, because I haven't. I've been trying to be conscious in it, but it's something that you have to
to help you practice on yourself. You see that cake right there and say no.
Yeah. See, that's easy. I'm really good at telling myself no, and that's the problem. I need to be better at I need to be better at saying yes to myself and no to others. That's what the issue is. I have it kind of reversed. You know.
Baby, I give them out like it's one.
Like you want to know.
It's easier for men to give out
I just said it.
and sleep on cloud 9, like you would not worry.
Snoring loud. But I had to.
And the no becomes the pillow.
But see, as somebody who I was the oldest boy. I was the only grandson and the only child. I had to learn that the natural role that I have as a provider, I still had to say no to family, to friends, to myself, to my work, to my passion. I had to say no. I ended up in the hospital this year for the first time. I've gone to the emergency room for like minor stuff. Never broken a bone, nothing like that. But it made me be like, okay, what are you not doing? And I learned how to say no. But I started giving them out that month after that. Like, it wasn't even answered. Nope, not answering that call. And sometimes you have to say no. That's why we set work hours. That's why we set times and restrictions for this and for that. And don't break your own rules. So you're able to say no to yourself. But now, put it out. Say no, and don't say no for the sake of power. But say no for the sake of necessity. No, I can't make another dish. No, I can't. But I'm gonna get Nate his sandwich. But no, I'm not going to.
He's real hungry. You have to look at no as a negative.
No, we've been taught that.
Like
as givers, we're taught that.
So you can say it with some compassion. Listen, no.
With a smile on your face. No.
I've been told no a lot. Even in business, as an entrepreneur, I've been told no. And I took that and
that's the mean Philly people.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you how I flipped it. My good mentor. I don't know if you guys have heard of Nehemiah Davis, but he's an awesome guy. He said, you take that no and you look at it as new opportunity, opportunity.
A blessing in disguise.
It's a challenge.
Like,
it's a challenge.
One no can lead to a million yeses. So,
because that person, often some people are telling you no because they want to see what you're going to do with that no. Are you going to go, so you know what, I'm not even going to be a designer no more. Some people do things that drastic. But if they see you, you still, I still have people tuning in, you still doing a little radio show? Yes. And you keep.
I love those words, that little. Yes! That's my favorite thing in the world. Like, they're like, okay, so it's been 8 years and you still doing that little open mic thing? Yes! My little open mic is still lasting for 8 years. Like, yes!
How do you all now respond? Now that we've been doing these things for a number of years, how do you respond to those things now? Because little still is a little like it's a little pinch, but I don't budge anymore. I don't even flinch a little bit. My little, it's more than a little. I don't do that anymore. But how do you respond now?
Honestly speaking, I've never responded with any animosity. When I hit a little, I honestly chuckle at it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I chuckle at it, I laugh at it because guess what? My little.
Out loud now, though.
But see, that's the thing. I do because my little is a lot more than your nothing.
Oh, she just
like you can call it little all day, but my little.
So now you know how to do it.
Exactly.
You just may have to add a little sarcasm to yours, right? Just smile your way through it. No,
like for real.
Ask her way. Ask her.
She's the queen of no.
Right. She knows how to do it.
Like, child.
You can still go.
Spent like $1,000 last week.
Right.
You feel me?
Don't even give her a number.
At that point, look, at that point, like, you know, that little $1,000 that they gave me last week, you know, it came in handy.
Don't even.
I just shipped the whole little package over.
Right. I don't. You know what I do? I give them a card. And I keep cards just for those people. I don't even give out business cards to people anymore. But I give the same card. The number hasn't changed. Sprint doing me just fine.
Okay.
If you want, you ready to come? Oh no. Okay. Well, you can keep watching. Yeah. Keep watching.
I love the people that support. Every time they see you, they feel like they gotta acknowledge you, but not really.
Because they watching you all the other time.
I'm gonna get something. I swear to God, next time I see you, girl, I'm gonna buy something. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
This storefront.
When you ready.
It's still good. Let me know when you ready.
Exactly. Let me know when you're ready.
I'll see your name in the memo. I'll see you when your order comes in.
Yeah.
I'll see your name come in. Other than that,
but focus on, and it's that 5,000 versus the 5 faithful. That 5,000 will always be fair weather. That 5 in the corner, you know, whenever they going out, whenever they got something to do, they about to hit you up. But those 5,000, as long as somebody else is saying your name, that means something to them, then they'll be there. But just beware for them that weather to blow the other way. And that's something that I had to not take and we started this conversation with not taking things personal. Not taking things personal. Because how can they support you when they not out there doing it for themselves? They still at a 9 to 5, which is no problem because it's a benefactor. But when they're taking that 9 to 5 and they living from paycheck to paycheck, how can they possibly support you? Even when they have their own businesses, they don't feel as confident in themselves. So how can they possibly? I don't want that energy. I don't want that money in my pocket. Because that energy, that money, wherever you got it from, it ain't got good energy on it because it's in your pocket now. Keep it there.
That's true. That's why at Post-it, I always say it's absolutely free. I don't care how you twist it. It's free. If you don't have nothing,
it's
that's
available.
Cool. You know what? Okay. But I like the word free.
See, I'm growing.
It's available.
It's available. But I do.
At no cost if it needs to be. Only because I don't want people to give grudgingly. If you give grudgingly, that means I'm going to receive it grudgingly and probably use it grudgingly.
Yeah.
And your food will taste begrudgingly because I bought the food with your money. So
right. No.
Your money.
If you have to really scrape the bottom of your bag, no, sis, keep that. Yeah. Just rub on the bowl.
Give her some earrings. She'll take stuff.
She likes I do, because I swear to God, I was blessed the day that Nate came in and put this as his contribution. I say yes. People's brings it. I said, look, you don't understand.
It's
I know
just like in church.
Just
rub the plate a little bit. Just rub it with your intention and keep it moving. My last question to everybody, and we have a couple more minutes before we go to break, and we'll finish it out in the last segment. What advice would you give to your 17-year-old self? I know you was just there yesterday. It's cool. It's okay.
But still.
But your 17-year-old self, not to prevent anything, but just to make that fall cushioned. And what question would you ask to your 100-year-old self? That switched it up a little bit for you.
Well, can I start with the 100-year-old self?
Go ahead. What question would you ask?
Yeah, I got that. My question for my 100-year-old self is, what was you thinking? All the ambition in the world that you can have, why does your ambition have to be one of love? I think love itself is a tough challenge. What made you choose that? That would be my question.
So why is your first foot always love?
Right.
Your first step.
Right. Now, for my 17-year-old self, the only advice I could give her is keep doing it out of love. Yeah. Because when you're doing
you just asked
see, that's the thing. Because you have to find balance eventually. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at this point in my life, I'm still trying to figure out the balance. But I would have to tell my 17-year-old self to do it out of love. Because when you do things for any other reason and you get disappointed, you really it's a lot harder to come back from. You know, because if you only going there for the money and you don't get paid, and now you're frustrated because when you ain't get paid, you didn't spend all this energy, you didn't spend all this time, and you got nothing from it. But if you do it because you want to do it and because you love to do it, if it doesn't work perfect, you are still okay because you did what you wanted to do and not what you had to do.
Okay.
That's it.
Sound like somebody learned how to say no today. So I'm gonna go to you.
I would tell my 17-year-old self to just continue to be as impulsive and intuitive and creative as you know that you are, and to what society or other structures may try to fix and change you, don't try to fall too hard into that, and just stay true to that creative and weird place where you just get all these ideas from. And I feel like thinking about myself being 17, I felt like I was there, and I was always kind of looking at everybody else, just kind of being I'm not really questioning myself that much. I'm really having fun being lost and where I am and like trying to figure that out. So it's like, so I think like 17-year-old Safra, I think she did the best that she could being 17.
So we're going to finish your 100-year-old question, and we're going to get over to Ms. Wanda. When we come back, we got one last break. Don't go anywhere, because I think it's about to get juicy. I'm feeling a little juice over in this area over here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. My question used to always be, what advice would you...
Shiny things, I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never.
I thought you was gonna have my money today.
Man, it is what it is.
Then last week you told me your wife was cooking.
Man, it is what it is.
Then again, I don't think I want your wife cooking because you don't like it.
Well, it is what it is.
This Fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K. Check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio. It is what it is, 9/11.
Are they ready to? I know they're not ready to accept it, but yeah, exactly. That's my whole thing. Like, how many of them are really ready to think about it like that?
None.
You know, like
I think the problem is
like
I don't even know how we got here, but
you are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. So we're going to jump right into it. Our diva over here just asked her gave her 17-year-old self some questions while questioning, and now she's going to ask a question of her 100-year-old self.
100-year-old self. So I'm 23. That's a long time. My 100-year-old self.
Yeah, it's about to be
right.
40. What is going on?
I know.
Sorry.
If I can ask my 100-year-old self a question, I would ask her, are you still single? Or are you living like by yourself in the forest or something like that? Because I've just kind of always felt like that's kind of what I want to do.
Okay.
Like after I've
completed
my dance career and I have traveled through all the places and performed in many various places and stuff like that, and it's just like, am I like kind of living the lifestyle where I'm giving back to the earth, I'm living on the land, you know, I am being, you know, conservative with my energy, and I'm being really present with the earth, and I'm really present with the last endings of my existence here. Am I really like giving my true human self all that I can to like life, you know, not just like the work and being known for all the stuff, but like really the true purpose of being a human being and like being in the flesh of the earth and being as, you know, present and loving to all the creatures that are around me if I'm in that little cabin forest thing.
So I'm gonna give you the last 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes left.
Okay. So the advice that I would give to my 17-year-old self is to slow down and be patient, and also to go for it.
Yes.
In a sense. So I find that even from 17 and beyond, and that was 17 for me was 20 years ago. So
Girl, you look good. You look good.
Black don't crack. Black don't crack.
You know, I wasn't fast in a bad way, but I wanted everything when I wanted it. I wanted it at that.
Stop, look, and listen.
Exactly. So, and then just to go for it, you know, even as adults, we doubt a lot of our abilities to kind of do things and get it done. So it was like, oh, I want to go to a university, but my family was built on working in trade, so I didn't go to school. I worked. You know, I didn't go to college until later. So it's kind of like whatever decisions that you feel you need to make for you, as long as they're positive decisions to do for it. Yeah. So that's what I try to instill in my daughter right now, you know, is being a young entrepreneur and things like that, just to kind of go for it. One of her t-shirts says, my individuality is dope. And I put that on her because she's a little different in a sense. So I want her
she's unique.
She's unique. I don't want that to hinder her from being her full self and going for, you know, and stopping her elevation. Yeah. And then what would I say to my 100-year-old self, or what would I ask my 100-year-old self?
I'm gonna give y'all the secret to the 100-year-old question, but go ahead.
Was it worth it? So, and then just was it worth it? And if you ended up successful, was everything you sacrificed along the way worth it? And if you didn't end up successful, was you not maybe believing in yourself more, or pushing yourself more, or having more of that drive, or you being in the position that you're in now?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the secret to the 100-year-old question is more of a writing prompt, but it's more a dream board. So not that anybody answered it incorrectly, but I was listening to how you were answering. And I think you came the closest, and then the two of you was focused on where you wanted to go. And it's more so the dream board kind of lets you focus. So asking your 100-year-old self is really doing a dream board. So what are the things that you want? Am I asking that person, where are you with those wants that I have right now? Not 17, but right now. And I often give that to my students as a writing prompt. What advice would you give to yourself? Because sometimes doing dream boards can be really fanciful, because you start putting things up there that, oh, this ain't even my dream, but I'm gonna put that Ferrari up there because that's cute. I want that. But we start itemizing everything when we need to just zero in. All that stuff can happen. I'm quite sure Oprah loves all of that stuff. But being able to come home and not worry about a BGE or a bill or utility or rent is more soothing than anything else. All this other stuff is pretty, but you can't take it with you. But just that peace of mind seems to be the thing that I'm honing in on. That's at the center and core of where I'm at. Real quick, everybody go around and give out your social media where we can buy your stuff, patronize you, and support you.
So again, I am Dope Elevation Apparel. Instagram, we are Dope_Elevation. Facebook, we are Dope Elevation Apparel LLC. And then the website is www.dopeelevationapparel.com. The email is dopeelevationapparel@gmail.com. So, and you can purchase everything from my website. DM me. I'm very responsive for anything. We do custom orders as well. And then just look out for Dope Vision, which is an inspirational journal by me. And that's due for pre-release sales on Black Friday. I'm very excited about it. So I actually have a photo shoot tomorrow morning where I am releasing the cover. So I had 3 covers to choose from. And I put it out there in the world and let my followers kind of pick their favorite color. So we're going to reveal the winning cover tomorrow during the photo shoot.
Oh, you fancy.
You got about 30 seconds.
All right, so Grace Gibbons, please follow me on all social media at Poets for Dinner. Spelled grammatically correct. Our website is poetsfordinner.com. You can look for Paperless Poetry 2 and Artist Addiction via Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Nobles. Just search Paperless Poetry or just search Grace Precious Love Gibbons.
There we go. And this Sunday is the
and this Sunday is the last Poets for Dinner of 2019, end of this decade. We are featuring Xander Richardson.
He's in the pocket for a minute.
Listen. Xander, he's a singer, he's a songwriter, and he's a musician. He's gonna put on a heck of a show. We also have someone who's filming their Apollo audition. So please come and fill in the space and eat. Damn it.
And I am Safra, and you can find my work on neg21.com, and you can find all of my posts on my Instagram at Safra is Safra for my performance work, and for my sound art work, you can find me as Primitive Tongues on Instagram and Bandcamp and SoundCloud.
I am really excited and really just grateful for all of you taking the time out to come and join us, sandwich, and getting just showing each other love and appreciation. I hope you all find some energy and some
I feel like I learned so much from
amongst each other. Thank you for taking that journey down 95.
You're welcome. And can I just thank real quick Mr. Hakeem Stokes for setting up.
Slick, we'll see you, Slick. And you're welcome to come back at any time.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So I'm a model. I'm gonna put it on tomorrow. I got an event. And I'm gonna come to Poets for Dinner.
I'm gonna say, honey.
You know what? No, I'm gonna say
you got a couple events this weekend.
Right, I'm gonna save it for Poets for Dinner. That's exactly where I'm away. So next up, it is Cocktail Social. Drink, guzzle, have some fun, and it is what it is. It's right after that. So thank you all again. Peace out.
This